All right, this is the third and final part of this little series I've been doing about classic rock and A Course in Miracles. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna do more. I might do more in the future, but for right now, this is the third part, the third and final part. And what I did so far was I took the years 1965 to 1970 classic rocks. 10 classic rock songs in that time period. Which was when Helen Schuckman started scribing A Course in Miracles. She started in 1965, I believe it was October, and then until 1970. And then the next video I did was 70 to 75, so 10 more songs, 70 to 75. And today I'm going to do 1976. So if you don't know, so Helen started scribing the course in 65. She completed it in 72, and then a process of editing the course happened over the next several years, and the course was officially published in 1976. I believe that there was a pre-publishing, it was published in 75 in a very limited edition, but 76 was really the year that it was published, and I think it's significant that it was published in 1976. In the United States, at least, that was a bicentennial year. It was a very important year for people in the U.S. because it was commemorating 200 years since the founding of the United States of America. And it was symbolic. I think that was part of it, and why maybe it was published in 1976 is because in many ways, A Course in Miracles is all about freedom. And that's what this country, the United States, is founded on, is this idea of freedom. And you even see there are places in the text, and I believe in the workbook as well, where Jesus makes some kind of reference to the Declaration of Independence. And he even says, let this be a declaration of independence or something like that to Helen. I forget the exact wording. So it's not like coming out of nowhere that I'm doing this, right? Because I wanted to talk about that issue, which is the course was published in 1976, which I think is really cool. In some ways, Helen apparently she really dragged her feet with it. She was resisting, but maybe the course had its own timing, right? It might have been that the course could have been published much sooner than it was. Like it could have taken half the time that it did take, but maybe there was something to it being published in 1976. I think there was. I don't think there are any mistakes, and I don't think there are any coincidences. And that's what A Course in Miracles wants to tell us as well, is telling us. There's no chance in God's plan, right? So no mistake there. And then 1976 also had some really cool songs, and I'm just going to talk about 10 of them today again, which I think are very relevant and very amazing songs. And you'll know them all probably when I tell you. There are some songs that some of these songs, just like the chorus, came a little earlier than 1976, but they generally, most of them hit it in 1976. Like they hit the charts in 76. They might have been written before 76. They might have even been released before 76, but they hit the charts in 76. And they came into people's consciousness, let's say. Like millions of people suddenly became aware of these songs, and they have become woven into the fabric of our culture now, right? These songs 50 years later, everyone knows the words to this. From my generation, I'm Generation X. I was born in 70. So, we know the words of these songs better than we know the Bible. We know better than, if someone tells you, well, tell me, what did Jesus say, in the Gospel of Mark or something. Well, we don't know. Most people, right? We don't. We kind of give lip service, to our faith. But when it comes down to music, we all remember the words to songs because we've been hearing them over and over and over and over again. We can't get away from them. So anyway, without further ado, first song, Carry On, Wayward Son, 1976, Kansas, the rock group Kansas. Kerry Livgren was the writer, was the author of the song. The song actually came out in 76, but it really hit in early 77. But I'm gonna say 76 because it did come out in 76. And I'm playing fast and loose with this a little bit, but it did come out in 76. The other song that we could mention by Kansas, all the songs on that album actually, I think Dust in the Wind was on that album as well, which is also an incredible song and very, very connected to, what we're talking about. But Wayward Son even more. Listen to the words here. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. You could say that's the chorus right there. It's the whole chorus in a nutshell. In those four immortal lines. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. You don't need to cry anymore. You don't need to suffer anymore, my son. But you may have to go through a little bit of a journey to get there. So carry on. What does carry on? Carry on. We say, when someone's carrying on, they're crying, right? They're weeping and wailing and whining. Carry on also means, keep going, rock on. Keep on keeping on, keep the faith. So carry on. It's a beautiful message, really. And the song is really brilliant. The song is has different time signatures. It has all these different parts to it. It's like a journey. It's an epic journey, this song. It's just amazing the amount of thought I think that went into that song. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Right? Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. It says, but surely heaven waits for you. Well, the but is also like the chorus, because Jesus uses a lot of buts in the chorus. I think it really means, surely now heaven waits for you. Heaven is waiting. You're going to find at the end of your journey, your long journey, my wayward son, you're going to find that heaven has been waiting all along. You've gone away, you've gone astray. Heaven has been there waiting for you. All right. Peace of Mind by Boston, written by Tom Scholz. I was on Boston's Breakout album, their first album. A lot went into this album too. This was years in the making. Tom Scholz was this engineer from MIT, which is in Boston, and he was a brilliant guy, really brilliant, great guitar player, and the songs are just immortal, these songs. I understand about indecision, but I don't care if I get behind. People living in competition, all I want is to have my peace of mind. It's like the chorus of the song. I understand about indecision, but I don't care if I get behind. People living in competition, all I want is to have my peace of mind. This is a song about the rat race, really, and it's a song about breaking free of the rat race. It's a song about nothing is more important than your peace of mind. right? Putting your peace of mind, and the Course also calls it the peace of God. Putting that first, putting that as your highest priority. Above all, I want to see, right? Above all, I want to be at peace, and nothing else really matters. Nothing else is important. Next one. This is really 1977, but we're going to call it 76. The Grand Illusion, the album The Grand Illusion by Styx. Dennis DeYoung wrote most of he was really, I think, the leader of the group, and he wrote most of their great songs. Then he got kicked out of the band. That's another story, but The Grand Illusion is just a brilliant album. I remember more or less when it came out. I remember going over to one of my brother's friends' homes, and he had a poster of The Grand Illusion on his wall, and he was playing the album, and I think I resonated with it at that time. So if you think your life is complete confusion because your neighbors got it made, just remember it's a grand illusion, and deep inside we're all the same. America spells competition. Join us in our blind ambition. Get yourself a brand new motor car. Someday soon we'll stop to ponder what on earth this spell we're under. We made the grade and still we wonder who the hell we are. Right? So we're wondering who the hell we are. This is just like Peace of Mind, Boston's song. All these songs in some ways are also about America, right? The American dream and the illusion of the American dream. Maybe Wayward Son as well. But Peace of Mind definitely, and The Grand Illusion, right? And how, you could hit it big, you could make it big, you could be a big rock star. That's what they're kind of saying. You could be a big rock star, but it's not all you think it is, right? It's a grand illusion. You think, because you're a celebrity, because you're famous, because you're someone in society, that somehow you got it made. You have money, you have fans, you have all the perks of being a rock star or being a celebrity, but it's not all that it is made to be, and it's an illusion, right? That somehow a celebrity is somehow any different than you. Right, and when it all is said and done, we all are searching for ourselves, right? We're all looking to find ourselves again. Grand Illusion is also a direct translation from the Sanskrit Mahamaya. Maha is great or grand, Maya, illusion. And it's used a lot in Sanskrit literature, Mahamaya. And Jesus talks, I don't know if he uses the word great illusion or grand illusion. I think he does say vast illusion for sure. In A Course in Miracles, he says that, this is a vast illusion. So it's basically saying the same thing, right? And, deep inside we're all the same. That's the great line of this song. Deep inside we're all the same. And I think that's exactly what Jesus is getting at in the Course. Dream On came out in 73, but it hit it big in 76. Aerosmith, Steven Tyler was the author. Joe Perry also did the beautiful guitar on that, amazing guitar on that. This is like Aerosmith's Stairway to Heaven, right? This is up there with Stairway to Heaven. I remember my brother saying to me, I want you to listen to Dream On and tell me if you think it's not better than Stairway to Heaven. And I said to him, well, technically speaking, Stairway to Heaven is better. But Dream On is great too. I don't think Dream On is quite at the same level as Stairway to Heaven. If you look at just all the different parts and all the different things that went into Stairway to Heaven versus what it went into Dream On, they're both great songs. But I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know it's everybody's sin you've got to lose to know how to win. Nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. No one knows what the Spirit is. No one knows. It's a mystery. Life is a mystery. I know it's everybody's sin. Now, is this a reference to original sin? I don't think so necessarily, but I think he's getting at, that we're all in it together, right? You could look at the idea of original sin as a bad thing, but for the Course, what it really means is we're all in the same boat. We all have the same basic problem, which is the problem of separation. And usually we have to lose something in order to wake up. We usually have to hit rock bottom, pun intended there. We have to hit rock bottom to find ourselves again, to have the motivation to find ourselves, because until we go through the despair, until we go through the suffering, until we go through the deep depression, we don't have that motivation. So keep on dreaming, dream on. So when you realize that, when you realize your mortality, you realize the temporality of life, you realize that there's nothing here that is satisfying, can't get no satisfaction. When you realize all these things, then you can really realize your dreams, right? Then you can really realize, the song can be read on many levels. When we say to someone, dream on, usually we say it in a negative way, like, oh, come on, dream on, right? But this is like in a positive way, dream on. Well, maybe not though, because maybe there's a sense in which Steven Tyler is saying, you're in this dream. You got to wake up from the dream, right? You could keep dreaming, dream on, keep on dreaming if you want. But if you want to wake up, there's a way, right? In a sense, that's what Jesus is saying. It's like, you think this world is real? Dream on. Something like that. All right, let's go on. Don't Fear the Reaper, 1976, Blue Oyster Cult. Buck Dharma is a great name. This guy's name is Buck Dharma. He was the leader, I believe, of the group. And I believe he was the guitarist that did all those cool solos. I think they had several guitar players. But the other song that I would put on this, but it came later, it came in 81, was Burnin' For You. There's just a few songs by Blue Oyster Cult that really you hear all the time. Like you hear Don't Fear the Reaper, which also became famous because of the Saturday Night Live skit with the cowbell, right? More cowbell, which is a classic skit too. You hear that one, you hear Burnin' For You, you hear Godzilla, and maybe one or two other Blue Oyster Cult songs. This might be their most famous, Don't Fear the Reaper, partly because of Saturday Night Live, but it's a song about death, right? And it's a song about not fearing death. All our times have come here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. We can be like the rest of life, not fearing, the elements, without fear. Just transcending our fear, transcending the fear of death, transcending mortality, transcending or overcoming anything that is in the way of recognizing that life is eternal, right? And that's really the Course as well. And this song is just, it's like, where the hell did this song come from? This is like, it's such a brilliant song. All these songs, are like the gifts of spirit through mortals to our ears, from God's mouth to our ears. Now, you can't not talk about this song, right? Even though it's kind of been overplayed by this point, but Bohemian Rhapsody. 1976 Queen, the immortal Freddie Mercury, who was very mercurial. He shot up, shot up to stardom, superstardom, and he left rather early. Not as early as other rock stars, but he went pretty quickly. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Right? That's the great musical, one of the great musical questions. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Right? Have we made this whole thing up? Now, did he mean it in that sense? I think he did, actually. I think there was a deeper meaning to the song that he was aware of. Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. That's how the song ends. Nothing really matters. It's also a great mantra, right? It just doesn't matter. When you get to that point, then you can really live, right? You can really do something in life when you get to that point of recognizing that nothing really matters, but there's something here for you to do, right? And you have to do it, whatever that is. This song, you can read it on a very profound level. On the surface level, it's about a young man who's dying, right? Or he just killed someone and now he's gonna die. I have to look at the lyrics again, but I should know this, right? But anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody. We could talk a lot more about that song. This is a really great one, especially for 1976, for the bicentennial year. Fly Like an Eagle, 1976, Steve Miller. Steve Miller, not given as much credit as I believe he might. But I think his songs are, they're just staples. And you can look at the fact that Eminem just used his song Abracadabra for Eminem's new song, to show you how influential Steve Miller has been. Probably The Joker is his most famous song, right? Abracadabra is one of them. Fly Like an Eagle, for sure. Fly Like an Eagle is just also a very brilliant song. It's with all these cool sound effects and the keyboard and the synthesizer there. I want to fly like an eagle. So he says in the song, all these problems in the world, there's a solution, right? There's a solution to all the problems of the world. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. This is also biblical. This is biblical. We will fly on eagle's wings or something like that. I forget where it is in the Bible. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free, right through the revolution. So it's a statement of a purpose. I want to be free. I want to free myself. I'm going to free myself, and that's the solution. You might think that's selfish, right? My own, there's all these problems in the world, and I'm going to free myself. How's that going to help the world? And Steve Miller seems to be affirming that it will. That's the solution, right? He wants to help everyone in the world. He wants to help all the suffering and all the horrible things that are happening. How can he help? He can go on his own spiritual journey. It's really a brilliant song, really brilliant song. And it's exactly what Jesus is saying as well, in so many words in the chorus. This next song, maybe not so much, right? But I wanted to include it anyway. Blinded by the Light. Bruce Springsteen, was made famous though by Man for Man. But in the original song, I don't think Man for Man has it in his song. I'm not sure. In his version, he might not have this, but it ends with, he was blinded by the light, cut loose like a deuce, another runner in the night, blinded by the light. And then it says, Mama always told me not to look into the sights of the sun. Whoa, but Mama, that's where the fun is. Right? Your parents tried to tell you, don't be so wild. Don't go there. Don't be crazy. But, young people have to have fun, and they have to find, right? They're on their journey, and they have to make whatever moves that they have to make. They have to make whatever mistakes they have to make. They might have to look in the eyes of the sun, right? I want to soak up the sun. So, as I understand it, I love this song, by the way. As I understand it, Bruce Springsteen, this is when Bruce Springsteen, I think, was writing like more fun songs. Like I think he had that kind of a little bit more of a playful spirit when he was younger. And he took like a thesaurus, and he sat down and he wrote the song using the thesaurus to come up with all these great rhymes in the song, and really neat wordplay and so on. So, Blinded by the Light. That's all I have to say about that song really for right now. The next song is just, obvious. Hotel California, 1976. Don Henley, who was Don Felder was the guitarist who came up with the original chords, and apparently it was first like a reggae kind of feel to it. And then he sent it to Don Henley. Don Felder sent him a tape. Don Henley liked it, and he wrote the words. Now the words, some people have claimed this song is satanic, just like Stairway to Heaven and some other songs, of course. I think rock music in the 70s was more often than not declared to be satanic. And I think some rock groups kind of played on that, like ACDC. They wrote songs like In Defiance, and some of them were very funny, like Hell's Bells and Highway to Hell, and anyway, Hotel California. We are all just prisoners here of our own device. Right? That's a classic chorus right there. That's what Jesus is saying, is that this is not God's problem. This is no one's problem except yours. Right? Your suffering is a result of your decision. Right? You have decided that, and you can also free yourself. And I want to mention another Eagles song that I think I mentioned in a previous video, which is Already Gone, which I believe was written by Glenn Frey, where he says, so oftentimes it happens that we live our lives in chains, and we never even know we have the key. Right? So this is saying the same thing. We're all just prisoners here of our own device. Echoes also of Plato's cave allegory, where the prisoners are chained to the wall in the cave, but it turns out that they can free themselves if they want to. They just choose not to. We'll leave it at that. We could say a lot more about Hotel California, but let's leave it at that one line. The last song came out in 1975, but it really became famous in 1976 on Peter Frampton's live album, which I believe is the top-selling live album ever, and it's called Frampton Comes Alive, and huge album, put him on the map. And the song is Show Me the Way, and he writes in the song, who can I believe in? I'm kneeling on the floor. There has to be a force. Who do I phone? The stars are out and shining, but all I really want to know, Oh, won't you show me the way? Yeah, I want you to show me the way. Right? There we go, right there. It's also another call, right? To that force, whatever that force is. There has to be a force. There must be a higher love. Where is that force? I'm calling on that force to show me the way. Show me the way. I want you to show me the way. All right, some songs that I might have, honorable mentions could have been on here. The Things We Do for Love, 10cc. Still the One, Orleans. Rubber Band Man, The Spinners. Right back where we started from, Maxine Nightingale. Let Your Love Flow, the Bellamy Brothers. These are all 1976. This Masquerade, George Benson. He didn't write the song, but he did an amazing version of the song, George Benson. Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, Neil Sedaka. And I would say waking up is hard to do. Breaking up with the ego is hard to do. Waking up is hard to do. So that's it. That was a long video, I know, but I hope that was enjoyable. I hope that was maybe a fun reminiscent of or a reminder of the brilliance of these songs. This is like music appreciation hour, and remember that the chorus is a long song as well, and all these songs, you could say all music is really all beautiful and true music is really what the chorus is as well. These are just songs that you can really see how Spirit came through with these songs, right? So thanks for listening. Keep listening to your heart, and we'll see you again soon. Om.